day, America. I'm Dr. Gerald Coy, and this is Solutions for Life, brought to you by the Share Foundation, a public, nonprofit charitable organization dedicated to natural health by helping the public become aware of alternatives in the healthcare services. Today we have a picture that's kind of sad for a lot of people, and that is when they lose a loved one. And what I try to get people to understand is the fact that when doctors make mistakes, you are the one that are faced with the consequences. When they make mistake, you pay the price. And we lose the loved ones too many times. Am I critical? Yes. Do I rant about it? Yes. This is Rant Radio, and we're looking for solutions for life. So today we're going to talk about some of the things that you can do and some things you can do to make things better. The Share Foundation is a public nonprofit charitable organization, and we're here on radio and writing material to help you to become more aware of how you can have a healthier life. The Share Foundation is the division of the Coy Chiropractic Institute. It's a 501c3, 509A2 public nonprofit charitable organization. And it's dedicated to the growth and development of natural health care services. These are things, this isn't drugs, this isn't surgery, this is alternative health care. When we talk about natural is what your body is supposed to be. Natural is what you're born to be, is naturally healthy. The artificial use of drugs and surgery and everything else may save a life at times, but in many times you pay an overwhelming cost for those services. And we want to point out that there are alternatives in healthcare services. We have people that are lined up to get into the hospital. We have people who are lined up to get into emergency services for things that they could take care of themselves, for things that they could do better in their life and have a healthier solution. Not only is this mode of healthcare damaging to your health, it can you can also be very damaging to your health, the health of your finances. Going to the emergency and the hospital can cost you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 before you even get entered into the hospital. So be very aware of that. This cost is out of control, and though we have the fight in Congress over a bill, the Affordable Health Care Act, who knows what it's going to end up being. There's a lot of challenges with it. They made some rules and regulations for insurance companies that they need to have at least a broad base of healthcare services, and when that wasn't in people's policies, they simply canceled them. So we've had millions and millions of people have their healthcare that they had canceled. But the question is why they were canceled, not just they were canceled. So the president is taking the heat for this. He's because he had promised that you could keep it if you were satisfied. The only question is, were you satisfied? Is this health care that was really the best for you? Yes, you're maybe upset that you're losing it. But I sometimes wonder what clauses in there that was outlined in the Affordable Health Care Act that they didn't comply with. There's probably things in there that if you had known, you might have chosen a different insurance company yourself. We don't know we're covered until the last minute, until all of a sudden we're faced with the fact that, that won't be covered or this can't be covered. I'm not too sure why, but I understand that there are procedures and everything else that are limited. There's procedures that are also considered experimental. But through the Share Foundation, we're seeking to offer alternative healthcare services. We do it through our educational programs. We do it through our Share clinics. Your donations are what help allow this to happen, for us to expand these facilities, supporting research programs and public education and awareness. That's what this program is all about, is awareness for you, helping offer solutions to the many healthcare challenges we face. Your donations are tax deductible and can be sent through our website at www.sharefoundation.com, and then you can click on the donation button and process it online. If you'd like, you can also call the Share Foundation at area code 562-776-1727. And over the line, you can make donations or find out how you can send donations to the Share Foundation to continue our work. One of the things that we do is we try to make the public more aware. Those who haven't seen the pictures that are in this book, it's called The Solutions to the American Health Care Crisis, and it shows a gallows with bad doctors being hung, immoral attorneys being hung, incompetent hospital administrators being hung, greedy drug pushers, that's the pharmaceutical companies, being hung, and our uncaring politicians. I get frustrated just like everybody else out there. I understand the conservatives' point of perspective, and I also understand the liberal perspective. Both of them wanting to make sure that what takes place is in the best interest of their particular points of view. But a lot of times what one wants hurts somebody else, and I'm often wondering if that's necessarily good. But the reason I created this book and labeled it Solutions to the American Health Crisis was first to point out that what all was going on, and we have a lot of challenges in our healthcare system. I'm personally aware of this in the services that are offered to in crisis to my own family. I have a nephew that is sitting in a hospital bed in Texas. I wish he was here so I know he'd get better care, because the care that he has received in the hospital has been abominable. The concern, the considerations for taking care of a patient, any patient, let alone somebody that I love and I care about in my own family, but someone you love, that you care about. The services in hospitals has gotten terrible. Why is that? What's going on? What's happened to that compassion? What happened to the concept of a Florence Nightingale servicing the needs of soldiers, or the compassion of a Marcus Welby? Does anybody know who Marcus Welby was? He was a television doctor, and he was always compassionate, always caring, and within the framework of the time that he was allotted on television, always found the perfect solution to help somebody. But it's just that. It's helping people. What has happened to our healthcare system? What's going on that's causing people not to get the care they need? It's unaffordable. You can't afford procedures. Why is it that a room at the Ritz-Carlton is cheaper than a hospital bed with maybe 2 or 3 other people staying in the same room with you? What's going on? Why does it take $10 to pay for an aspirin, or a little cheap 5-cent or 2-cent comb, and a little kit for grooming might cost you another $20? Who knows what the costs are? They keep going up all the time. What's driving this there's a lot of factors. Unfortunately, I think a lot of it is also in greed. It's greed of drug industries, and that I could speak all hour on. It's the greed of the technical field. It's the greed of every aspect in healthcare that feels that they're underpaid and do not have the funds to do what they need to do. How can a doctor be compassionate and be caring when he graduates and is faced with $500,000 or $400,000 or somewhere in that vicinity debt? How can he go to college and the cost of it be so exorbitant that when he comes out, he is forced to make sure his income is such that he can take care of $500,000 or more or less debt? That isn't fair to him. And so we have a problem with it in education. It's also, what is education teaching our doctors? Is it teaching our doctors compassion and how to care for people, or is it teaching them the technical knowledge? One of the concerns I have were doctors treating my nephew in which they didn't even go over and touch him. They didn't look at what his particular needs were. They didn't see him as a patient. They looked at their pads, their computers, and they poked at them, and they brought up files that weren't even complete, because there was so much information out there that they never even saw. They didn't realize that his liver was almost totally damaged and destroyed, because they were just thinking about his lungs that had also been damaged. This is one of the challenges in education of our doctors where, one doctor doesn't know what the other doctor is doing. A very nice friend of mine who recently passed was in the hospital in which a medical doctor who was a pulmonologist and a cardiologist, so that's one for the lungs and that's one for the heart, were almost coming to blows, arguing as to what the problem was and who was paying the price. My friend did. In fact, he was so poorly treated, his last year of life was in nothing but pain and anguish because of the errors and the mistakes and the stupidity of the services he received at that hospital. And here he was, a man of wealth, a politician, and yet even he was not exempt from all the tortures of modern-day medicine. So what is it going to take to come back? I don't know, but that's some of the solutions we need to look at. I had written in the book, as far as one of the solutions was, I felt that nurses who, by and large, are a lot more compassionate and understanding than doctors should all become the doctors, and the doctors, well, let them go work for the pharmaceutical companies, because I don't even think they would make good nurses. There has to be brought back into the healthcare system an understanding that you're treating a person. You're not treating a liver. You're treating a human being that has fears, has concerns, has anxieties, and all the things that go with it. You can't just be treating the technical aspect, the chart that is on the computer. If your doctor does not have compassion, find yourself a new doctor. So that's one of my biggest concerns is in our healthcare system. And we'll kind of break it down and go into some other areas. One of my big concerns is also in the field of accidents and injuries. I'm a chiropractor. I've been a chiropractor for almost 50 years. And yet, who do I see in my office? A lot of spinal injuries and people who have been injured. And many of them have gone to bad chiropractors or bad medical doctors who only saw to treat somebody regarding the frameworks of an accident. They didn't get the care they needed. The conditions was not resolved. They simply went through a process, just like the attorney. Let's do the paperwork. We file this, and we file that form, and we file this, and we seek to get payment, and then everybody takes a piece of the pie, and no one really seems to care whether or not the patient is better, whether the patient is getting the care that they need. And so in the Share Clinic, we see people who come in from these accidents, from these injuries, from these lawsuits, who are still hurting. Years and years later, they're still hurting. And no one's there to take care of them. They spent what a little money they got out of the accident. They really got very little as far as a settlement, even for that. And the doctor didn't really correct the problem, and the attorney got paid for their services to keep their office afloat and doesn't really care. We see that not only in PI cases, but we also see that in work comp cases. I've seen doctors who, they're in bad shape. The patients are in bad shape, and no one seems to really care. And it's a whole other area that needs to be really looked at and taken care of. Work injuries. Okay. I remember a company brought their employee in and didn't even really believe that the employee was hurt, and the employee was hurt. And yet the employer, we'll just kind of like patch him up so he can get back to work. They really didn't care. So you have employees don't work. You have employees that don't care either, that are, what's called a malingerer, someone who really doesn't take care of themselves the way they should be. And that's we will get into, is back into the area of personal responsibility. But back in work injuries, this is, work injuries can come about in many different forms. It isn't just someone who fell on the job. My nephew is in Texas. It's a right-to-work state. He will probably receive no compensation, even though a building which was poorly labeled is falling on him. And it fell on him and crushed his liver, crushed his lungs, broke many, many bones on the verge of killing him. So will he get compensated for that? No, even though his life was almost taken from him. We need to review these areas. There's abuse in doctors, there's abuse in attorneys, there's abuse by employees. And everybody that is abusing the system is hurting somebody else. And that gets back into the area of really not really caring about people the way that we really should. But let's talk about being healthy. Not so much the aspect of being injured, but just flat out being healthy. On the screen now is one of my favorite photographs, and that is prevention is the best way to stay healthy. Yeah, healthy means your body's functioning right. It's not an absence of drugs. If you have a headache, yes, you can take an aspirin. It can block out the pain. You don't feel the pain, but you still have a headache. You don't feel it anymore. And yet people will take billions of aspirins every year. And Tylenol. Aspirin, which is known to damage the lining of the stomach and cause bleeding. You have Tylenol, which hurts the liver and kidneys. In fact, large number of Tylenol users are ending up in dialysis or liver damage. Look at the commercials for these things, and you will see where the advertisement says, take this product, you'll feel better in a few moments, and everybody's smiling as they tell you how it does the damage. If you really listen to the drug commercials, you probably wouldn't be taking the drug. In fact, I've had people say, I listened to the commercial. I understood that it might relieve my pain or suffering to some degree, but I wasn't willing to pay the price because that price was that of possible death, damage to the liver, heaven only knows what else. So we need to understand what health is first. And health is a process by which the body is functioning optimally. And anything you can do to help that is what is going to keep you healthier. Let's talk about some of those things. You need to make sure you're in an environment that is not toxic. You hear about stories about people whose homes and their play yards and things like this were built on toxic dumps. Even in Los Angeles here, the school, one of the major schools, $100 million was spent to find out that the earth that they were building the school on was toxic. Of course, no one got in trouble for that. We wasted a lot of taxpayer dollars for them to go find another location to build the high school. Because we do have laws that protect us as citizens. Unfortunately, they don't necessarily work that well. But you want to make sure your environment is a healthy one. Even in your home, making sure you have the detectors that make sure you're not getting the gases and things like this in your house, smoke alarms, all the things that help prevention in your environment. I would prefer to have as clean of an environment as possible. I remember when I was in high school and I was driving down the boulevard, you could not even see the mountains surrounding Los Angeles. There was so much smog and filth in the air, you seldom ever saw the mountains. Now, most of the time, you can. Does it mean the air is clean? No, it means it's cleaner than it was. So environment is something that's very, very important. We talk about our genes, and what you get is what you get. But you can also damage your genetic makeup. Not only can you damage your genes, but you can damage the genes that are going to be passed on to your children. You can damage it with drugs. There's a lot of things. Anybody that remembers back in the 50s, the thalidomide, a drug prescribed by medical doctors that caused many young children to lose their arms or not develop arms and legs. That was another medical service that caused so much damage. That even aspirin, a number of aspirin, can cause you to have more birth defects in your body. They may not be as dramatic as not having your arms or your legs. It just may be that certain parts of the body don't calcify the way they should be. Maybe there's a little bit defect in the wiring of your nervous system. Maybe a little bit of a change in the blood vascular system that may show up in your body. All of that may lead to future problems because of the weakness of the damage that was done from your genes. But what you get is what you get. It's what your parents give you. God willing, your mother didn't and father didn't take too many drugs or things like this to do too much harm. At least, hopefully, she didn't take thalidomide. But there are a lot of other drugs that are out there, and anybody that's thinking about getting pregnant, anybody that's thinking about having a family, please wean yourself off of the toxins and things that can change what is going to be the formation of that beautiful child of yours. Of course, then there's also such things as, exercise. Some people like to exercise, some people don't exercise. The body is meant to be used. Does that mean you have to go to a gym? No, it means you need to use your body. There's a lot of things in which exercise or the lack of exercise causes problems. We were talking about work injuries. And in the work injuries, you find that people who do a process over and over and over again, it's called microtrauma. It can be the mouse. The number of individuals that get irritation, inflammations in their joints because of working with the mouse on the computer is growing and growing. The eye strain, the effects of the body, the lack of physical activity, all can come about because of our technical world. So you need to pay attention to this. And in paying attention to it, make sure you are getting the kind of care that you need to alter with the damage that is done. A lot of times it can be simple as swimming, walking more, getting movement, stretching. The most important exercise is stretching. Two of the most famous procedures or programs are Tai Chi and yoga. What are they? Stretching. So find something that will allow your body to stretch. You don't have to build up, huge biceps. You don't have to have all sorts of strength, or you don't have to make sure you work on that tire around your midsection so that it has a perfect form. I got news for you. A lot of those forms we think are perfect are something that's been doctored in photography. All the little trimming that takes place on the computer. It's an image that isn't healthy for our children. You as adults need to be pleased with who you are, what you are, and how you view your body so they can be proud of who they are. Whether they have bigger eyes, smaller eyes, slanted eyes, or ears that are bigger, stick out, whether they have a bigger nose, smaller nose, big lips, small lips, wrinkles, no hair, too much hair, curly hair, whatever it is, that is who your children are. And of all things, the parent needs to teach their child is to love who they are and appreciate that they are a reflection of their genes and of the reflection of their parents that have come together to give them the love and give them life. So the more you appreciate yourself, doesn't mean you let yourself go. But the more you appreciate yourself, maybe the more you'll take care of yourself. We also don't realize the importance of rest. And rest can be so very, very important. It is a time in which, we tell our kids to go to bed early because they're growing. A lot of kids in college, they don't get enough rest and they make themselves sick because they're studying for hours and hours at the last minute because they were out partying when they shouldn't have been studying. And they pay the price for it. They break their resistance down. They lower their resistance to the point where their body isn't able to function the way it's designed to. And when that happens, you get sick. You may get a cold. You may get the flu. You may get something out there of one kind or another. And most of the time, it's because you didn't get enough rest and you probably weren't eating the way you should be. And you need to be responsible for that and not just expect to go out and go to the drugstore and buy a drug to cover up the symptoms. We take a cough suppressant. Why do we suppress a cough? Isn't that help throw up or throw out that buildup of material that's building in our lungs to get it out of there? We have a fever, and we'll take drugs to lower the fever. Yet the fever is a natural process by which the body increases its temperature to do what? To kill the bacteria, to kill the germs, to kill the viruses, to kill whatever's invading our body. If you want to destroy it off of other food, of food, you cook it. If you want to get it off of your clothes, you put your clothes in hot boiling water. And same with instruments, our dishes, we put in hot water and dishwashers to kill the bacteria. And that's the normal process. And yet we say, oh, fever is bad. No, fever is good. Can it get out of control? Yes. Do you need to watch it, be aware of it? Yes. But in most cases, that fever is a process by which the body is doing something natural and normal. And lowering the fever only prolongs the disease that the body is fighting. So you need to help your body. You need to work with your body and make sure it is able to do what it needs to do. Get the rest you need. Get the nutrition you need. Get the exercise you need if that's something that's necessary in the joints. And make sure you have an environment that is going to be one that allows the body to heal. That's the key. Only the body heals. We'll be coming back in a few minutes to talk about nutrition, because that is probably one of the most important areas of healthcare services. You need to make sure you're eating right. And if you're not eating right, you need to make sure you're supplementing it with things that are going to help you. There are so many wonderful, wonderful products out there that can help you with your arthritis, that can help you build your immune system and build your resistance in your body, so you don't need to go take the drugs. I am opposed to flu shots. I have a 92-year-old mother that's opposed to flu shots. But what do? We make sure our nutrition is such that we can have a strong, healthy system, one that's resistive to the bacteria, or one whose resistance is great enough that we can overcome when that condition starts hurting us. And so we will discuss that in a little bit more detail as we come back.
Add some crazy flavor to your vape pen. You're looking for something new and exciting in liquid vapor? Go to Crazy Cloud's e-Juice. Find them at burstoflavor.com and try any of the new 12 flavors they have available. Blueberry, mint, raspberry, chocolate, gummy bear, hemp, watermelon, cola, orange, pina colada, coconut, or Red Bully. Call us today at 855-WE-BURST or visit us at burstoflavor.com and order yours today.
What's wrong?
I can't stop craving a cigarette. I just quit. Hey, what are you smoking on?
Oh, this? Best e-juice on the planet. Burst of flavor, of course.
What's that?
Only the best alternative to smoking with a great flavor. It has a burst of flavor in every puff.
Well, does it have nicotine?
It comes in different levels, including 0. They have 20 flavors and more coming. All the products are made in the U.S. Check them out at www.burstoflavor.com or call them at 855-WE-BURST.
Hey, let's burst together.
It's not just flavor, it's an experience. Cigarettes, you've met your match.
Are you watching the game at home? Why? Come watch it at Mambo Grill, the hottest spot in Downey. You'll have good food, drinks, and a great time at a low price. We have the coldest beer in our sports bar, where you can enjoy the game on any of our huge flat screen TVs. And when your home team wins, you get 25% off anything in Mambo Grill. We're on Downey Avenue, 1 block north of Firestone, or visit us on the web. Mambo Grill, love at first bite.
Hey, bro, this is a good game. You know what would make it better?
What, bro?
A michelada.
A michelada? What's a michelada?
A michelada is somewhere in the middle of a Mexican Bloody Mary and a Mexican margarita.
Oh, I got you covered, bro.
You got a cup in your pocket?
No, sir. I got my pocket-sized michelada. Mucho macho michelada.
Pocket size?
Pocket size, so you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Where'd you get that at?
At the nearest convenience store, and you can also buy it at muchomachomichelada.com.
You know what will make it better? After we get drunk, if they had a line we could call.
We can call their drunk line. You can leave a message and then log on to the site and listen to your stupidity afterwards.
What's that number?
It's 855-MICHE-69.
What's that number again?
855-MICHE-69.
Awesome. Mucho macho michelada.
And we're back, and I'm Dr. Gerald Coy of the Share Foundation. One of the things the Share Foundation has are Share Clinics. The Share Clinics are for people who cannot afford any alternative healthcare services. Actually, the Share Clinic is for everybody. The Share Clinic is an ability to pay facility, offering you some of the best care possible. If you don't want the drugs as treatment, and a lot of people are out there saying, wait a minute, I'm tired of just being given drugs that do nothing but cover up my symptoms. Call the Share Clinic, and our ability to pay facilities offers chiropractic, nutritional, and therapeutic care. We even offer care to children from low-income families free of charge, because children don't have a choice, and we don't want them ending up in the hospitals in the emergencies. So we offer free care for children of low-income families. This could be your child who's been hurt playing in the schoolyard or playing sports. This could be your child who has developed some problems that you would like another opinion. Use the Share Clinic as another opinion for any and all things, because you need to know what else is out there for you. You're responsible for your health. You're responsible for the health of your children. We offer you that option where you can come in and talk to our doctors and have a free consultation. Everyone can have a free consultation at the Share Clinic. You need a natural second opinion that will find you a better and healthier solution to your health challenges. And that we ask you to call area code 562-776-1727. That's area code 562-776-1727, and make an appointment. Remember, this is a consultation at no charge. And the Share Clinics are part of the Share Foundation health programs. So we were talking about all the different aspects of being healthy, and I left off. We had discussed a little bit about nutrition, but I wanted to kind of expound upon that, because nutrition is one of the most important elements. You can not exercise. You can be lean. If you don't eat too much, you won't gain weight, and you don't have to move. It's necessary to a certain degree, but it's not like you have to be exercising at the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week. In truth, you really need to eat every day, and it's better that it be balanced out in the course of the day, whether you agree with 3 meals a day or 5 meals a day, or try to eat 1 meal a day, which has generally been pretty well noted as being a bad thing for you to do. But the idea is that you consume what it is your body needs to build healthy tissue cells. Remember, only your body heals, and your body can only heal if it has the materials necessary to heal. And it pulls it from the nutrition. It gets the calcium out of your food to put into the bones. It brings out the minerals and everything else that are needed for all the aspects of function in your body, and the vitamins and the herbs and that produce the elements that will help you to build a healthy body, to build muscle tissue, to build connective tissue, to replace your skin, and to do all the other things that maintains a healthy body. When your body's cells get sick or when they're damaged, they can't be saved. You're not going to heal them. They're going to die. And what you want to do is make sure your body is replacing them with good, healthy tissue cells. That's what healing is all about. Healing is not a doctor. Healing is not drugs. Healing is not when you have something cut out. I had a patient come in once, and in going over the case history, she had had her gallbladder removed, she had had her tonsils removed, she had had her adenoids removed, she had had her appendix removed, she had had a hysterectomy, and we were talking about good health and how the body needed to function. She says, "Make me whole," and I says, "Bring back all the parts, and I'll see if I can do that." But unfortunately, when that's taken out of you, it's gone. It's not going to be replaced. We're not a lizard that might grow a new tail if it loses the old tail. We are a body that's been put together perfectly by our Maker in a way in which it will function the best. Doctors in the past have always tried to think, there's no use for the appendix. There's no use for the tonsils. You can do without them. And doctors were taking them out right and left, giving family plans for people to say, hey, you've got 5 kids, we'll have a special rate for you to have all those tonsils or all the appendix removed. Now we find out that, they have an immunity purpose. They have a function in life. Gee, we didn't know about that. And yet you had them removed. I can't be mad at my mother for having mine removed, but she was following the instructions of the doctor. But I know I would not for my children. And as my sister raised her boys and everything else, they weren't getting these shots. They weren't getting the garbage put into their system that was being demanded that they do, or she was a bad mother. No, a lot of the vaccinations and immunizations are out there are harmful to your children, and you have a right to refuse. There's a medical doctor who was complaining that anybody that worked in a healthcare facility must get their flu shot. And he says, no, that's not right. Or they could not work there. So we have a lot of problems in healthcare. We have a crisis. We have a medical domination of the healthcare system that is telling everybody this is what you must have. And in reality, they've been wrong so many times, it's unbelievable. They've been wrong about tonsils. They were wrong about the appendix. They were wrong about mother's milk. Mothers were told, oh, mother's milk's no different than cow's milk. They were wrong then. I was once asked, I said, what is the longevity of these experts? Now, if these doctors are really such great experts, they should be outliving all of us. But the average longevity of a medical doctor is probably 10 years less than the average citizen, and most of those are ones who don't pay attention to the doctors. They don't pay attention to them because they know a lot of times they are wrong. And you have to realize that you are responsible for your health. And it's okay to disagree with the doctor. It's okay to buck the system. It's okay to say, no, I don't want that garbage in my system. I was in the military. When I was in the military, I was serving at Edgewood Arsenal, Maryland. Now, that was kind of rough on somebody who had just graduated as a doctor of chiropractic. My field was that of natural health. I wanted to be released to the world to help people be healthier naturally. And I was put into chemical research, learning how to, was involved in making nerve gas that would kill masses of people in 9 seconds. Thank God that has been discontinued and is no longer part of our life. But I was in that kind of a realm. When I was there, I was told that I had to have a bubonic plague shot. I said no. They said, you have to have it. The government requires that you have it. And I said, no. You can be discharged. Then discharge me. I said, if you want my expertise in the labs, I just do not be here. It would be a dishonorable discharge. I don't care. I will not put that garbage in my system. And it posed a problem for them. How did they resolve it? Dishonestly. They just signed off on my paperwork. Did I ever have the bubonic plague shot? No. Would I get it? No. Could they have pushed me to be thrown out of the service? If they wanted to, fine. But they needed every serviceman in those days that they could get. So they broke the rules. They just signed off on my piece of paper saying that, he's had the bubonic plague shot. But that's the kind of garbage that the government is being led to believe is necessary. They're led to believe by pharmaceutical company. These are the companies that have made so many drugs that have killed so many thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, and yet they're taking their advice, telling them, this is necessary. This will save lives. And I wonder how many hundreds of thousands of people they have killed under that auspice of saying, it's going to save lives. But them in cahoots, of course, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And as politicians are known, they need money to run for office. And in running for office, they get their money from the drug companies. If you want to know what your politician is, find out how much has been given to him through the Freedom of Information Act from these pharmaceutical companies. Because he is not, if somebody gets that kind of money to get elected, they're not going to be in supportive of natural health care. We have a problem in America. That problem is the uncaring politicians, the greedy drug industry, the incompetent hospitals, immoral attorneys and bad doctors, and those are the ones I am hanging on my book. Anybody, the first person that can get a note off to us, I will give you one of these books. It is normally $30. It has over 70 illustrations. I will give anybody who contacts Rant Radio at 855-969-7268 today. You call the Rant Radio, and we will send you a book that will change your life, and hopefully better, because you're going to be healthier if you do what it says that you need to do. We need to be responsible for ourselves. We need to stand up and say, no, this isn't right. Doctors are like car dealers. They sell their product, their service to the consumer. They are not philanthropic. The days of the philanthropic doctor, as I started out this whole hour about, has been lost. We have technocrats. We have those who do nothing but look at their computer and look at the technical ramifications and say, this is what we need to do. They no longer touch their patients. They no longer care about their patients. They no longer give them compassion. They no longer even talk to them. Why? Because they don't have the time. If they spend too much time, they won't get paid. If they give them any wrong information. I was talking to a gentleman who was sitting in my office. He works in elderly care. And he went to his doctor, and the doctor wanted to prescribe a drug. And he says, no, I don't want that drug. I want to take these natural products. I want you to prescribe them for me. He says, I can't do that. He says, why can't you? He says, if I did that, I would be fired. That is the ramifications of doctors even wanting to do something that's more natural. So let's see what's going on here. But I'm sorry, we don't know what's going on. Pardon?
You're good. You're good. Just don't eat it. Don't hang it up. Just put it down.
Hello. What?
There you go. Put it on the desk. There you go.
Okay.
Now they can hear you and you can hear them. Put them back on.
Well, we had some fun with some technical difficulties, but we're get back in line. What could I find to help you with? Hello there. Hang on. Okay. Well, we're talking about people becoming more and more responsible. Open it.
Just go ahead and pick it up and put it on the table.
Pick it up and pick it on the table. Okay. Now I'm good.
We there?
Okay. We got our act together.
Hello, there's this Dr. Clay.
Yes. Who's this?
Hello, Dr. Clay. This is Alex calling.
Hello, Alex.
How are things?
It's going good.
I love your show. I had to call in.
Well, I'm glad you did, Alex. Is there anything I can help you with?
Well, I just wanted to talk to you about a couple of the I don't even know what to call them. They're not medication. They're not vitamins either. But I've been taking some of them. I've been diabetic for 13 years.
Yes.
And I haven't tested, when I test my blood sugar, I haven't tested under 150, I would say, in the past 6 years.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And I've been taking, and maybe you can help me with the name of the thing that you gave me. It's they're transfer factors, but
yeah.
it's
well, yeah, the company doesn't allow us to promote it on the air, but yes.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
No, that's okay. You can say anything you want to. I can't.
Oh, I see. Okay. So anyway, I was taking these things and been eating like I normally do. I usually eat pretty healthy in the morning. Typical Cheerios and soy milk and just eating all the healthy stuff. But the other day I went to dinner, and I have to check my blood sugar before I go to dinner, and I tested at 109, which means I don't have to punch insulin.
Hey, isn't that
okay? That's because my endocrinologist, puts me on like a scale
mm-hmm.
on whether or not I'm going to punch, right?
Yes.
So I just wanted to mention that to you, that the only thing that I can contribute that is to what you prescribed.
Well, what I've offered you and at the Share Clinic and everything else was products that they are in the transfer factor line. They are immune boosters. They are immune balancers. And what they do is they educate the body how to perform better. And it strengthens the performance of your body because you're not diabetic if your body does what it needs to do. And I'm so thrilled that your body is doing what it's supposed to be doing. People don't realize.
Yes.
Yeah, people
absolutely.
Don't realize
and so the other day, something happened to me that hasn't happened to me in, I would say now, about 10 years, and that was I went hypoglycemic, meaning that I tested at 82, in the morning, and that for me is never happened. I mean, when I say never, that means that not only did I not have to punch insulin, I had to eat some candy in order to get my blood sugar back up.
How long has it been since you've had a piece of candy?
Oh, it's been probably 10 years.
10 years.
Probably longer than that, yeah.
I'm not saying that I recommend candy for anybody, but isn't it a wonderful feeling?
Well, it's testimonial that something is definitely happening to me.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can contribute that to is what you prescribed.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm so glad you're doing better. I love to hear success stories, and I hope our listeners are out there realizing there are natural things available that can help your body function better. Yeah, and congratulations on having your first piece of candy in 10 years.
All right, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You take care, Alex.
All right, I love the show.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye now. Did you hear that? Someone who hadn't had a piece of candy in 10 years. Now, of course, I'm not advocating that you have your candy, but it sure is nice that when your body is functioning right. I was doing some lecturing the other night, and I have a major concern. Again, doctors have a tendency of labeling you. You have this condition, and it's kind of like you will never be cured from that condition. Your back is this, your pancreas is that, your heart is this. They do not see how they can offer a way in which you can improve. They only look at it as how to control the symptoms. In fact, medicine basically is designed to be suppression of symptoms. It's not designed to be a cure. Here's a product, here's a natural product that educates the body in performing better. And in doing so, once you get your sugar into a normal range, and it stays in that range as it is designed to, you're no longer diabetic. But you better believe, when Alex goes back to the doctor will still view him as being a diabetic, even if he didn't have the need for medication for a year's time. The doctor would still. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about good nutrition and some nutritional products that you can also take to be healthier. We'll be right back.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra-modern, ultra-clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
ProTech Carpet Tile and Care provides professional cleaning services for carpet, tile, grout, upholstery, and fine area rugs.
ProTech technicians are professionally trained and certified cleaning and restoration experts.
We specialize in restoring damage caused by heavy soil and odor.
We can remove challenging spots such as coffee, tea, ink, gum, wine, and many more.
We have saved our customers thousands of dollars on new flooring and furniture expenses with our advanced cleaning processes.
Call for a free estimate at 562-447-4300 and visit us on our website, www.myprotectsite.com.
Hey, this is Joe Perez, owner at Protec. Just reminding you that Protec Carpet and Tile Care is your professional choice.
Number one. Number one.
Is that a stutter or as high as you can count?
I was ordering number one tequila.
Everybody's asking for number one.
Great, another fancy bottle.
These guys are true artists. Never compromise integrity. They make tequila
Come
the
on.
old-fashioned way. Never mass-produced.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying have the number one. Anything less is number two. Number one, tequila.
We are the Three Guys Rant
with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the three guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen, then you never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS, G-U-Y-S, and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
And we're back. I'm Dr. Gerald Coy, and this is Solutions for Life. Solutions that you can put into your life to live a healthier and hopefully longer life, but you have to take care of yourself. We were talking about some of the challenges in healthcare, but you're the one that goes to the doctors. You're the one that elects the politicians. So if you want to change it, you're going to have to put forth the effort. And that's why I'm here, is to try and encourage you to do exactly that. The caller that called was somebody that I had talked to before, someone I had helped with some nutritional products. Again, I'm a chiropractor, but at the Share Foundation, at the Share Clinic, we offer nutritional program. We also offer therapeutic programs, other things other than chiropractic to help people reach a healthier state of natural health. So do you want to feel better? Do you want to help others have better health? Do you want to have an opportunity so you can lead a financial freedom? Well, join with us at the Share Foundation through the Share Clinic, and you can enter into what's called the Share for Life program and find out how you can answer each of the questions with a yes. Above all, you can help your family and friends find answers to health challenges and doctors have failed to address. Call 562-776-1727. That's 562-776-1727 for more information. Here is an opportunity for better health. And if you want to get involved, you can. And if you do, it is something that you can share with other people that can be financially rewarding to do. It is also something that supports the Share Foundation, the Share Clinic. It is one of our major financial programs to keep the Share Clinics going and to expand the programs into other areas. So please check with the Share Foundation if you would like to know more about nutrition. I've had many guests on here. A lot of them have had involvement with this same program and have had unbelievable results. Also, we're offering to anybody who comes in as a patient of the Share Clinic, everybody who comes in will also receive a cashback card. This is how they can get money back from their healthcare services. It is also something that they can use to get money back from just getting things like gas and groceries, not only their healthcare, but anything and everything that they buy, that they can buy at the best price out there. Well, that's their choice. But they can get this through the Share Foundation. It's a free card. All you have to do is call the Share Foundation, the Share Clinic, at area code 562-776-1727 to get your free card. Come on by the clinic and we'll tell you how you can use it and not only save money, but also how to make some money there too. We're always looking for ways in which we can lower the cost of health care or to help our patients have a better life with a better income, because that's necessary. Health is a state of physical, mental, spiritual well-being and social well-being, and if you are in the poverty level, it's kind of hard to be healthy. It's kind of hard to feel good about life. So if we can help you have a better life, we want to do everything we possibly can. But we need to look at what life could be. On the screen today, we have a picture that was drawn up by Ian Baker. Ian Baker is a British cartoonist. He did these as a favor to me. I love his cartoons. He expressed what I saw as a future, where doctors were basically saying, you got to take care of yourself. Instead of, well, here, let me give you another prescription. And you know, a lot of those prescriptions are being filled out because you're demanding them. You say, I want this. Do you realize that there's a mass of you out there that go into your doctor and says, I want an antibiotic for my cold. I want an antibiotic for my flu. And it doesn't do any good. You know what the doctor does? He just writes you the prescription because he's burned out, doesn't care, and he's just doing what you want. He can get his $60, $80, $100 for his office visit, and that's all he really cares about. But you are given a prescription that will do no good. Colds, flu is a viral infection. It is not affected by antibiotics. It doesn't help. It doesn't do any good. But I'll tell you what does do good. We talked about it many, many times. We've talked about it just a few moments ago with Alex, who was improving his diabetes with natural products. There are in the world since 1949, a Dr. Lawrence discovered what was called transfer factor, but it wasn't made available until almost 2000. So it's been just the last 13, 15 years that a product has been made available that can increase your immune system, increase your resistance, so that you don't need to be taking a lot of the garbage you take. It can build your strength so you can even overcome sometimes life-threatening conditions. Alex was talking about diabetes. That's a life-threatening condition. And here he is taking a natural product that has no side effects. And what is he doing? His body's functioning better. His body is functioning better. That's what health is about. Drugs don't cause your body to function better. They just alter function. They kill. They destroy. That's what they're meant to do. They suppress symptoms. I tell people when I lecture to them, I says, listen to what drugs do. They kill, inhibit, destroy, harm, whatever it might be, the terms that they use for that drug. And if you look at a lot of natural products, they'll say this supports, enhances, it boosts, increases. You know, doesn't that make more sense just from a language perspective? Listen to what's out there. Listen to those commercials you see on television when they say this drug can cause death. And believe. Now, if you want to play Russian roulette with your life, that's your choice. But personally, I want to live as long and healthy as I can. I'm 70 years old. 80 doesn't look that old anymore. And 90, I still want to be functioning. Maybe I'll even be here ranting on radio because I want to take care of myself. I want to take and consume things that are going to allow my body to function better. And you can only do that if you're not taking a bunch of drugs that are doing harm. Drugs that kill your kidneys, drugs that kill your liver, drugs that damage your heart. Drugs that cause children to be born without arms and legs. This is what medicine has to offer you. Is that really what you want? When you were conceived, was there a little manual that said, well, when you are born in 9 months as a perfect human being, that you can only survive if you take all these different drugs? No. You came into this world to live a natural, normal, healthy life for at least 120 to 150 years. But you got to take care of yourself. You're responsible for you. If you're eating garbage, you are what you eat. What can I say? If you are not able to eat as well as you should be, or the foods you're getting are not at the quality you would like them to be, supplement it. There are supplements that can help you reduce inflammation in your body. There are supplements that will help lubricate your joints so you don't feel the pain of an arthritic type of condition. There are supplements that will help your digestive system so you digest your food and absorb your foods better. There are supplements that will help clean out your liver and get rid of the garbage that you've been putting in there from past prescriptions. There are supplements that will help you clean out your intestines so like with John Wayne, if those who remember, there was a John Wayne when he died of intestinal cancer and his intestines weighed about 60 or 80 pounds or something like this, filled with garbage. They weren't functioning right anymore. They weren't functioning. And you want to make sure that you can take supplements that will boost the ability of the body to respond in life. There are products that will help, supplements that will help your prostate for men, the female organs for women. There are products out there that will help you with your memory, that will increase the blood flow to your head, that supports your nervous system. Isn't that what you want your kids in college? Make sure they can think clearly? Isn't this what you would like for your Down syndrome child? Isn't this what you want for your elderly who may have serious conditions? Are those kind of supplements, not drugs, but supplements that will allow the body to function better? These are the things that are in the market. But you be a buyer beware. Be careful. Make sure that you're getting the right things. Make sure you're going through professionals who are saying, this is why I recommend this. This is why I believe this can help you. You've got to ask the questions. You've got to know what you're taking, why you're taking it, and not just start taking supplements from a doctor like you were doing with drugs. You need to know what it's about. You need to read. We've got computers now, practically every household. We have smartphones that you can go to and you can type information in and read. Time to learn what's going to help you and what's not. It's back to school time, folks. You've got to learn what to do to take care of yourself. You've got to spend the time. If you want a better world where nutritional stores are opening up all over and drugstores are closing, if you want to have fresh air to breathe, if you want to get out there, you need to exercise. If you want a government that's going to support natural health care, then you've got to vote for one that's going to support it. Or you can vote for more drugs. We have that now. Our senior citizens are overdrugged. They fall and they break hips because they're overdrugged. They're taking drugs that cause them to break their hips. There's a drug out there that you can take once a month, and it hardens the bones. And yet there are people in their 50s where it hardens the bones, all right, but you see, that's not a healthy bone. Just because it's harder doesn't make it healthier. And all of a sudden, these legs are breaking. These hips are breaking because of the drugs that people are taking. And people are on dialysis. We are building more and more dialysis centers because of the pain medications that people are taking. You got to get off of them. Find the cause. Find a therapeutic way. Find a natural way for these things to be improved. I don't care if you go to a chiropractor. I don't care if you go to an acupuncturist. I don't care if you take supplements. Just get into a practice of taking better care of yourself because you're responsible for your health. The doctor isn't responsible. If you're over 18, your parents are no longer responsible. You're responsible. You've got to make the decisions. If you're smoking, you're an idiot. Quit smoking. Come on. You know that's stupid. I look at people and they're having a party and they get a case, 2 or 3 cartons of 24 beers. Hey, I like a good beer. I love the taste of beer. I love to have it with some pizza or some tacos or different spicy foods. I love the beverage. And I may have one. And if it's a long evening, maybe I'll have 2. But I'm sorry, you don't need to drink 6, 8, 10, 12 of them until you get wasted. That's not healthy. So until next time, eat right, exercise, reduce your stress, take care of yourself, and be healthy. This is Dr. Coy, Solutions for Life, and I will speak to you next week.